Just waiting on a couple viewers, I guess. I know it's a late night show. Yep, so just waiting on a couple viewers. A few drinks in, hence the horrendous mistype during the talk in the post announcing the talk show, I guess. Let me just double check. I'm just pulling up some stuff. Messages. Oh, some great questions this week. Asked by widge567 space hyphen space BUCS bucks. Great questions asked by him. Do I have any viewers? Do I care if I have any viewers? I got one whole viewer. How long am I gonna stay here with one? Once we get to 2 viewers, I'll start the show. That's what I'm gonna do today. Usually it's like 4 or 6. God, I'm a piece of shit for starting it so late. But if I don't do it today, it won't be till Sunday. Can't do it on Tuesday. I'm working all day. I know Tuesday's the show day. I'm hoping next time I do a show, it's right before the playoffs. Okay. I'm tempted to say fuck it. Tempted to really say fuck it. Well, yeah, let's just fuck it. I had a big win against the Panthers. The 37-21 score does not reflect how much of a fun game it was, nor how close it was. I had 5 takeaways. He had 1. That was really the decider there. Still waiting on a couple of games to go, though. Bills Jets should be today. X and LTH, I don't know what's happening with that. And Billy and Digrits, I don't know what's happening with that. Oh, got a second viewer. Oh, thank God. Thank God now I can really start the show. Can't just chuff my own ego. Thank God. So I guess first thing is I'm going to look at the playoff picture. That was a big game, actually. When you talk about mine and Panthers game, that was a really big game. We play again in 2 weeks, or a week, depending on how you want to look at it. But that was a big game for the NFC and the NFC South for sure. I'm going to start with the NFC, be a little biased. But that should lock in me as the number 2 seed, hopefully, unless Bobby keeps it up. But yeah, obviously Wheezy's up top at undefeated, but having that bye week is huge, depending on what injuries happen down the stretch. AFC, we got Jags up top. None of that could matter or could not matter. Bengals, though, is looking like the bye week with the Browns as a wild card seed. Colts, so that'd be pretty crazy because if it continues this way, we got the 2 wild cards as the 3rd and 4th best teams in the AFC. And Pats and the Chiefs taking up the other 2 spots in the playoffs. I don't know, what is that? NFC West, NFC East, South, West would be the 2nd playoff spot. We're just looking at the North, and so far it looks like the CPU. Although I really like the Vikings. Like, they have a good team. I mean, when I played Bears, I'm not trying to be mean or whatever, but the Vikings game was very competitive. It really was. Like, the only reason I won is 2 defensive scores in the second half. Of course, that's just my experience. I mean, obviously Bears has a better record, so whatever. And then CPU Packers. Come on, son. Just got to respond to something. But yeah, looking at the division, so let's check that out. AFC North, you got the usual suspects, and oh my goodness, X is in last. I did not realize that was a thing. And that's all because Steelers, from going 0-3, went 4-3. That's really impressive. It's good. I mean, I know he had a rough initial start, but yeah, having X drop to the fourth spot is interesting. AFC South, usual suspects. Texans had a rough go this season, that's for sure. Jets, who a lot of people had in wild card contention. I mean, it's a tough wild card year. It is a tough wild card year for the AFC. And then you got these guys, nothing. AFC West. But yeah, them Chiefs, them chefs. Um, expect them, they'll host a divisional game, but they're not winning a bye week, from what I can tell. NFC North is apparently ran by the CPU. Too Rude, I don't know what's up with him. I've messaged him a couple times. I think it's about ready for the boot if he doesn't respond to the next message I send him. Which is unfortunate. That Lions team is stacked. Like, that's a good roster to build off of. Worst case scenario, you look at trying to figure stuff out this year, but next season you're going to be set. NFC South, I mean, we had three playoff hopefuls, and depending, Falcons kind of dropped off the earth or whatever. Plays me next week, which will I think will be his decider if he's actually making a playoff run. At 4-4, I don't know if he will. And me elevating to 7-1 definitely helps me a lot. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think he still has 2 games against me, 2 games against Panthers left. So that's going to be an uphill slope for him to make the playoffs. Saints are the Saints, though. CPU, NFC East. I wish Grits was playing. This would completely change the complexion. I mean, Eagles has beat the CPU Cowboys twice, I believe. Which, I mean, just even if they split, that goes from 5-2 and I just hate seeing that 2-5 for him. He's just such a much better user than that. But yeah, so far it looks like Redskins is going to be fighting for a wild card spot again versus the AFC South and the NFC West. And I mean, Wheezy's great. We made the Super Bowl last year, so you can't really say much. Rams beat me very handily. Like, I don't know the score. I think it might have been a 2 touchdowns difference, but Rams beat me handily, so that's a tough competitor. When we look at the playoff race, looking at the league in general, I mean, when you look at the best teams, they're all above 200 point scoring. When I look at playoffs, I mean, if the cutoff is 200 points, that might actually be the cutoff right there. When you look at scoring, anyway, it's 200 points. There's any of those teams below that, I don't think are making the playoffs right now. Is what I just said. I mean, I like Vikings a lot, but still, got to be at that threshold, And then points allowed, I don't think it's as big a deal. But let's check it out. Bengals, Colts, yep. Oh, wow, I did not. Wow, I'm 4th best scoring team. Hello. Eagles, Panthers, Oh, so Jets, nice defensive, but 143, that's rough. I mean, you look at that. I mean, Falcons is right there, too. That's tough. Oh, okay, it makes sense that Falcons are 500 with that close score differential. I mean, a -4 score differential and only 1 more win. Can't be surprised at that. But yeah, as you can see, the defensive scoring is way less important than when I look at the points force, which is, let's see, how long does it take to get to a non-playoff team? I mean, the Packers technically, but apart from that, the Raiders, even then, they're just below 500. If they make a good push and some of the other AFC teams fall, X. But yeah, that's interesting, actually. I never really looked at that before then. Okay, so that's the playoff picture, I think. MVP race. Oh, so before I had Leonard Fournette as my MVP winner because he is averaging a ridiculous 9.7 yards. I think it was 9.7 yards. Yards per carry? 9.7, yeah. With 12 touchdowns, 1,000 yards already. I mean, Dalvin Cook, equally as, I don't say equally as impressive, but still very impressive, still averaging the same yards per game. Few touchdowns, which is kind of luck-based, but less fumbles, too. Broken tackles I thought was interesting is that Derrick Henry leads the league, and then Le'Veon Bell is next on the Raiders, with Leonard Fournette as third. Looking at passing stats, though, Darius Blackson might be having the best career of his year, or year of his career. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Also, you have, on the other end, Pat Mahomes is having a solid year. Pierce Brown, Carson Wentz, was an MVP candidate last year. Same with Jameis Winston. And they're really neck and neck. I mean, that's crazy when you look at those stats. 20-yard difference, 3 less attempts, one more completion, touchdowns, interceptions. That's fun to look at. The rating is a whole 3 points difference. Jesus. But Carson, look at that, 11 more sacks. What a scrub. 11 more sacks. Also, more offensive opportunities. 30 more by my estimate. 35 more. Oh, I gotta check if there's any comments on the talk show stream. Oh, nobody cares. So passing, I mean, I don't think anybody's standing out in the passing category. So I think, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook are the guys that we're looking at there, especially with the 200-yard difference between the next guy. Receiving, I don't think, Jameson Crowder, okay. Which actually helps me move into my Rookie of the Year, right? Yeah, Rookie of the Year, I think it's got to be Tank Brooks. Already has 800 yards, 15 touchdowns, so he's going to break the touchdown record because, somebody's just funneling it to him. But there's no way, Baker Mayfield is having a good year. I think he's second, or no. But so Baker Mayfield and Anthony Schroeder. Schroeder's my pick for NFC rookie, even with the efficiency lacking. But Baker Mayfield, is probably Tank Brooks' best competitor. 13-16, whatever. 33 sacks, Jesus. But, yeah, I'm just trying to think who's the other rookie quarterback in the NFC. Oh, Quinn Grayson. It wasn't, what is it, Shaxson or whatever deserves a nod. But, yeah, look at that. It's still not more efficient, less volume stats for Quinn Grayson. But yeah, let's see. Oh, Shackelford, there's his name. So, I mean, his rushing stats might elevate him, but again, touchdown interception ratio isn't better, yards isn't better, completion percentage isn't better. So in the NFC, I think it's gonna go to this Anthony Schroeder guy out of Miami. But yeah, in the AFC, there's no running backs, rookie running backs who are worth it. I think top one is like 500 yards. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's Mark Waddell with 4 touchdowns, 500 yards. I don't even know where the next one is. Oh, there we go. Moses Amos, CPU. And then Shackelford is third in rushing yards for rookies. But yeah, Tank Brooks is up there. I think he wins AFC rookie, which sucks because Frank. Oh, that's the NFC. Maybe Frank Gene Giles wins it. Gordon Wilfork is definitely down there. But yeah, good rookie receivers in the AFC again. Oh, Wheezy cares. That's nice. Oh, I'll give a shout out to my boy Wheezy and his 26 kids. Appreciate you tuning in and watching the show. Defensive rookies of the year. I mean, this is always tough. What really surprised me when I looked at this was the rookie from the Bears, Valentine, actually has the highest tackles in the league. So currently, I mean, he doesn't have, look at that, 0 tackles for loss, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. That's why I don't think, 6 deflections is nice. The tackles is nice, but I don't think he wins the Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be the guy from the Vikings, who I think I predicted last time, as long as he stays healthy. God, what's his name? Looking for that purple background. There we go. Emmanuel Blake, 38 tackles, so a big difference, but 2 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. Still 0 picks, so we'll see, but 1 deflection. No fumbles. I think any of them have fumbles. In the NFC. AFC really doesn't have... Emmanuel Sanders is probably your best bet with his 40 tackles, just under 40, 2 picks, couple tackles for a loss, 5 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks currently. I think we'll find out next week or this week. Next week or the week after is when the voting starts. It's next week. So it's hard for me to say it, but yeah, those are the few rookies that kind of jumped out at me about it. Biggest surprise. I don't want to say the Rams because he started playing better. The only person he really lost to last year was Wheezy, so I won't say him. Colts coming. LTH might be the biggest surprise. Coming back and backing up what he said. We'll see if he plays X because I've heard mixed things about it. But yeah, we'll see. Got to be one of the bigger surprises. Other than that, I mean, also Steelers winning 4 straight. If you'd been paying attention to the first half of the season, that's a big surprise. Big surprise. In the NFC, is there any big surprises? Maybe Cowboys disappearing, ghosting. Maybe not a huge surprise. I guess that's more of a disappointment. I was disappointed by it. How about the NFC South? Lost. Was 0-1 at the end, like the entire, or 0-4 at the beginning of the first week, and I was able to put 6 wins together. Panthers 5 wins together. Then we played. Even Falcons getting 4 wins after 0-1 start. So it was looking like we were a shit division, the Charmin division, if you will. But that was a nice surprise, I thought. Yeah, I don't know. Like even I don't even want to say surprise or disappointment with Seattle's quarterback is looking pretty good. I think he's the 4th leading rookie passer, to be honest. So that's a nice for him to be in it. But Ray Bortles isn't having a terrible season. 6 touchdowns, 19 picks isn't great. 50 rating. That's rough. That's a rough formula. But he's been injured a couple of games maybe. But yeah, one thing I forgot to look at for defensive is the sacks numbers. Because there was a rookie who had pretty high sack numbers too. I think he was in the Falcons. Okay, maybe not pretty high. I misinterpreted that. Oh, here we go. Oh, so Casey Cumberland with the 5 sacks at the left end. Not a huge fan of that. Which I guess is the highest rookie number right now. Even though I thought the Falcons had a guy. What's his name? Bacon? I thought Bacon had Baker. Bacon had a pretty good sack number. But I might be wrong. If only Falcons was in main chat, he would be able to correct me here. Oh, there we go. Glenn Bacon. Oh, I guess he's 4.5 sacks, but I think that leads rookies. So my bad on that. Kind of all that's all I think I have for biggest surprise, biggest disappointment. So it's gonna be a nice short show. I mean, is it the make Pixie feel good show? Maybe. Am I gonna beat him next week? Definitely. So it's I. There are shows, and I just refuse to say things, and people construe that as me just straight like being savage or whatever against them. It's Lookout, so insert blank space. And people took that to great offense as me being very insulting. So I'm trying to diversify the love without necessarily being a huge dick about it. But I hope that answers your question about the feel good showiness. I'm not trying to rag on people. The only people I like to rag on is myself. I don't hate. I love Lookout. Lookout's a great person. Now, what I don't understand is how he hasn't gotten better at Madden in a year and a half. But do I love Lookout? 100%. Great guy. We're Lions bros. Lions are my second team. They're his main team. He's in Michigan. I want to visit him to drink the beer from Michigan. Love a lot of good Michigan. Hell, I bought a case of Michigan beer today for $13 from Founders. Great brewery. If you haven't tried it, highly recommend. But yeah, one of the liquor stores by me was putting it up, and just super good. I'm drinking one right now. Super pleased. They over ordered. But yeah, so Lookout's a great guy. I just And this is like part of the issue, I know it's been mentioned in chat before, but like if we could scrimmage more, I'd be way more about coaching guys up, because it would just be playing games. I might not be in a second league because of it, and fucking forget me trying to play other games, because I'd be all about trying to help guys become more competitive and understand the game more. Is the game football or Madden? Who knows? But I'd be all about trying to get them better. I guess I could look at some playoff paths while I have the time. I think mine's relatively easy. I'm not saying I'm going to win the division, but when I look at a wild card spot, I'm looking at a CPU, Chiefs, which is a good team. Lions looks like he's going to be a CPU because I haven't heard from him in weeks. CPU, so that's 4 CPU in my last 8 games. So hopefully that'll guarantee a playoff spot. Cardinals, I think they have a pretty easy path. They run their division. Whatever. Chiefs, they play me, so they have an easy division to the playoffs. Just reading through the chat. I'm sorry. I just didn't. Got off on my rant about beer. It, like, seriously, if you guys want me to talk for a while, it'll be about beer. I'd love me some good brews. Holy shit, we're up to 6 viewers. This is a normal show now. Better get my A game on. Go on a tangent. My boss emailed me the other day saying, "Oh, you better bring your A game today." I fucking bring my A game every fucking day. Why the fuck are you emailing me that shit? Pissed me the fuck off. But yeah, Chiefs, Chargers, I don't know, have they played before? I think Chargers has great potential. I really do. And that's a great roster to work with for a first year CFMer. But yeah, he has potential. I know Raiders got a raw under the stick. He played, and they've played before, right? Yeah. And that's, so what is that? 16 points. So that 40. When you see 40-20, it always looks one-sided. But I think Raiders also has some pretty good potential for the league. Jets is a decent user. I'm a decent user, I like to think. Chargers again. I think Chargers could just sneak up on people. He really could. You got 2 CPU and then Jags, which may or may not be filled by then. Who knows? But yeah. So Chiefs, I would say, is making the playoffs. Colts. Oh, already their bye week? Oh, their bye week was last week. Okay, so Ravens is a good user. I honestly never am surprised if somebody loses to X, because he really gets the most out of his team. Bears, I hate to say it. I don't know. When I played Bears, it was very unimaginative. I think on the defensive end, I think his offense is decent. It just needs to make some better decisions. A lot of throws to guys that weren't open. And it was different from our playoff game. Playoff game, I really thought my defense played well. When we played a couple weeks ago, he wasn't playing well. I don't know what it was about it, but I think and he won the division a couple times, so obviously he has some talent there. I'm just gonna check this chat before I go on. Oh, Shiner the best, apparently. Oh, Shinerbach, really? I know you're from Texas, Wheezy, but you're gonna say Shinerbach is the best beer? It's not. It's practically not even craft beer. Okay, yeah, I don't know how up to date he is, but he's typing. He's typing like a fool. Browns that'll actually be a really fun game to watch if LTH is around. Monday Night Football. Browns Colts. I don't know the last time I was excited about that matchup. Picking on the brown people. I love me some Dos Equis. Some Mexican beer made by the Germans is right where I'm at. Bengals that'll also be a good game. Steelers just got I don't know what it was about the beginning of his schedule is tough, but yeah, and then easy kind of sailing throughout. CPU. I hope Tolgs hasn't given up, but there seems to be a habit where I don't want to say there's a habit of him giving up. That's not it, but Tolgs is just, I really think he's on the precipice of being a good user. So he's an okay user right now. So when he plays the good to great users, He's gonna struggle. He's gonna have the 55 to 6 shutouts. Texans I've already talked about, or Raiders I've already talked about. Like it could be a very good user. I know he's frustrated with a lot of what people call, but I think it's easily avoidable. If he calls his defenses a little shorter, plays it a little shorter. But I don't think the play calling is the issue. I think it's stuff you can adapt to, and you'll see very often in CFM when we're talking about sim gameplay. Uh, Eagles. That'll actually be a really fun game to watch. That Ravens game, especially after these contests. That's for sure. Go Browns are all the rage. Browns are all the rage in the toilet. But yeah, that could be a fun game. Wow, actually B3 has a tough little slate coming up. Ravens and then Cards. This could be fun to watch, and then a Bears matchup, which I really hope he shows up. But hold on, let's just straighten this out. Do the Eagles lead the league in? Holy shit, the Eagles lead the league in primetime matchups. Started off with 2. Another one, so that's 3 at week 7. Another at week 9, so that's 4. 5, 6, 7. 7. That I think they lead the league in primetime matchups, breaking the broadcasting rules. Good for them. Good for them. But yeah, I get the Bears thing. Division opponent. Yeah, so Wookie just mentioned that B3 might have the toughest. I think the NFC East in general, because the NFC East is playing the AFC North. The AFC North, I think I've said since last year, is the toughest division. Not only does it have 4 users, but it's 4 competent users, like competitive users that know what they want from their team and are building towards that. Oh, look out. Oh, so it was the mosaic. I can't look at it right now. I just actually just threw the one I was drinking out. But it was mosaic, but it was ridiculously cheap and it was delicious. I would highly recommend if you get founders in your area to go for their mosaic, whatever it is called. But yeah, the NFC East had a tough struggle to get up there. I think and the NFC East itself, like Redskins, good user. Grits is a good user. B3 is a competitive user. Like when you have 3 competitive guys in division, it's fun, and that's what the NFC South was for a long time. And it's just once so many guys go for the rookie quarterback. So when you look at the Redskins, who are the only team in that division running with a rookie quarterback, and they have a lot of other pieces, that's going to stay competitive. Opposed to like the NFC South, where 2 teams have rookie quarterbacks, but the Falcons, I just look at that team and I feel like it doesn't have as many pieces as some of the other teams I see. So you see, it went on a 4-win streak. So that's what's crazy about the NFC South is we all started 0-1, and at the start of week 6, end of week 5, we were all 4-1, all being Sans Saints. I wish I could get Yingling out here. I really do like Yingling. I know that a lot of people talk down on it, especially in the craft beer community, but Yingling, like 2 beers I could drink the rest of my life. Only 2. Yingling and Guinness. And just alternate between the 2. Not necessarily back and forth, but those 2 are phenomenal in my mind. Not too bitter, just good beers. But yeah, so 4-1. Admittedly, a lot of those were 2 CPU games for Falcon. But anyway, Grits, came up to play for this one, and it was a good game. I mean, you look at it, I say it was a good game. But I want to say it was highly contested. I mean, Atlanta got shut out after the first quarter for a long while, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. 6 turnovers hurts you. And that's what I think the Falcons' problem is going to be until they get Shackelford on a leash or, under control, is it's going to be a lot of turnovers. So we had 6 turnovers in that Cowboys game. We had 7 in this Chiefs game, I think. 8 in the Chiefs game. And then we have how many was it in the Vikings game? It was a good number, right? Turnover. So only 4 turnovers, but in those 3 losses alone, that combines for just under 20 or 18 or something turnovers. What you trying to say about white people, Wheezy? Don't appreciate you. Mixing beers is such an art form because I feel like it's definitely not something I want to do unless I know it's good. But looking forward, that'll be. Mine and Falcons games are always good for no fucking reason, and I hate it. I hate it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be, but I hate it. So the Saints. Okay, I want to check out the Saints schedule because they have at least 3 Thursday night games. But 49ers, Packers, Saints. That'll be a good game, I think. The Raiders, Falcons. I think Raiders will be upset about the Falcons play calling, but Falcons play calling is stoppable if you know what's coming and whatnot. I mean, me and Falcons have played 9 times now. I think I'm 5-4. So it's a pretty equal mix, or it's 4-3 or something. I think whatever season we're in. Bears, yeah, I've given my 2 cents, but that's a tough stretch. Oh my God, yeah, wow. Pay Panthers twice in the final 3 weeks, especially if I still have the division lead by him. Like if me and Panthers split and whatever, and he needs that game to seal the division title, because that could be a difference between a week 1 bye and not. That'll be an interesting stretch of games. Jags. I'll take a look at these just in case someone got bye week. Bengals is a good game. Vikings. I mean, yeah, I don't want to say it won't be a good game, but that's a tough user. CPU, LTH has good user. Tolgs could put up some numbers on somebody. Titans could still put up some numbers on somebody. I mean, as much as I've talked about Tolgs, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Steak. And I don't know if it's just that Titans roster this year or some of his decision making. That'll be interesting to see how he does, like looking at next cycle where Steak goes. X will be a good, like I said, I'm never surprised when X wins. At this point, he just gets the most out of his defense. Like best 3-4 defense I've seen this cycle is X. I don't know if other people feel that way, but that's how I look at it. And then Chefs to finish off the season. Oh God, these Jets. I hope Wonka plays this game. Wonka's a pretty decent user. Did he play your first game, Wookie? Oh, it's joking. Wheezy, he's one of my commissions, so all I can do is stroke his ego, or else they're going to leave me and I'm going to be alone to make all these difficult decisions. Oh, he didn't play and it was a 48-45 game? Jesus Christ, Wookie. Get a hold of yourself. Oh, wow. I did not realize this game was as one-sided as it was. I mean, I didn't watch the game, so it's tough. But yeah, with so few turnovers, it just looks like Jets offense couldn't get off the ground. To be fair, 62 rush yards is going to kill that Jets offense. 45 pass yards is going to kill any offense. You got to get triple digits. So I don't know what happened with all that jazz. But yeah, going what looks to be 31-6 when you look at it offensively. Apparently the defense pulled off a safety, which is good for them, but that's a rough time. And I'm sure it rained, because divisional matchups always rain. Raiders, again, could be a good matchup. I think Raiders will be caught off guard by Wookie's offense, with it being so run-heavy and not as, I don't want to say as standard, because Raiders doesn't like as many slants and crosses as a lot of guys run, which I hope he gets over, because I'm not trying to say it's unreal. I'm not trying to say it's acceptable, but it is very standard. What do you want me to run? If you don't want me to run crosses and ins and drags and slants, do you just want me to run outs and corners? Because you're going to be a lot more upset about outs and corners because they're going to be way more open than a lot of the inside routes. I think exterior routes are more broken than interior routes. That'll be fun to see. I think, to be perfectly honest, Chiefs beats them. Because I don't think the Jets' offense can keep up with the Chiefs' offense. But it'll be interesting to see how Wookie tries to defend, and again how Chefs try to defend the Jets. Got another Pats game, which I think could be a complete reversal from the first one. I don't want to say complete reversal, as in 31-8 Jets over Pats, but more like their neck and neck kind of deal. It all depends on how Pierce Brown is doing. Wheezy and the Jets will be interesting. Being in Arizona and whatnot. That's a tough 3-game end of the season. Like, Jets better have double-digit wins if they expect to make the playoffs by then. But yeah, if he wins one of those games, I would feel pretty good. If he wins 2, it would be over the moon. All depends, you know. Panthers have me CPU, then me, so they're gonna meet me with 2 losses, another CPU, and that'll be interesting. Like I said, if he splits the division, that's gonna make these 2 games at the end of the season 3 games. Oh, with B3 too. Interesting with the Falcons though, because that's just gonna make us neck and neck up to that point. Like, even if I have 1 less loss than him, he's gonna want to go all out on this Week 17 game to ensure he wins the division. Because Madden tiebreakers are stupid, and if we're split, who knows how it's gonna work? If we split, 1-1. But other than that, I don't really see. He's just a good user. Like, his rookie quarterback's worst game was against me, which I'm kind of surprised since he lost week 1. I didn't look at these stats, so I'm just gonna check him out. So yeah, he said his worst game was against me, but 5 picks makes me think otherwise. I'm not saying he's a liar or anything, but 5 picks. He had 5 turnovers in my game, 4 picks and 1 fumble. But yeah, that'll be interesting to play him again in a week. I'm not looking forward to it at all. The Patriots, we got Rams. That might actually be a really good game there, right there. The Rams, Patriots, and I could definitely see either side winning. Oh, we got some messages. I'm just checking them out. Madden robbery, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Dolphins CPU, Broncos CPU. Yeah. Yeah, those could be some good games to finish out the season. Like I said, Jets could go either way, and then Bengals. He always plays guys tough, and I'm not sure if Shiny has actually beat Playa yet. I don't think he has, so that watch it. Rams is another divisional team. Cardinals, Pats, Skins. Yeah, he has a lot of actual, like, if Grits is back in his next 5 games, he has 4 playoff competitors. His next 6 games, he has 5 playoff competitors. That's rough. And then finish off the season Wookie, which could again be a good matchup. But yeah, that could be a tough streak for the Rams. I don't know if Rams and Redskins have played before, but that could be an interesting, like, because they came into the league at the same time, I want to say. Nice little thing. Oh, well, Ravens won't make playoffs. We already talked about that. Redskins. Cowboys probably CPU. Ugh. Steelers, again, these guys came in the same time, I want to say, so that could be good. Rams, Eagles. I think he beat Eagles last time, which is fascinating, so hopefully he pulls that off again. Cardinals, Bengals. I'll be interesting is that he gets to beat me week 17. He's got a couple. Oh, that's what I want to check out. The Saints. How many Thursday night matchups did the Saints have? Because they play me once on Thursday, 2 times. Oh my goodness, 5 Thursday night matchups. Only 3 are divisional for the Saints. Gotta love that Madden scheduling. I tell you. Yeah, 2 are against me. When do they play the Panthers? Is that just not a big deal? Oh, yep, Sunday at 1, Sunday at 1. Nope, it's not a big deal compared to when they play the Bucks. Huh. I really hope they draft a quarterback next season. Not that they would do much better, it'd just be like more fun. Steelers, I mean, they got some Redskins, Ravens, Browns, Eagles, Cowboys. I really hope the Cowboys comes back. Oh, Colts too. I completely glazed past that. Yeah, that's a good little end of season rush to maybe make it happen. I still don't get how he freaking put up 54 on X, not to mention how X put up 40 on him. Really really makes it disingenuous when I say that. But yeah, Joe Flacco 5 picks might have been the cause of that. A lot of fumbles too, or just the one Newcomb. But yeah. Next Ravens Steelers game could be really good. Vikings. So when we look at the Vikings schedule, so Saints, maybe a Jags user, maybe a not. Who knows? Bears. Do they play already? That'll probably be a really good match. That might be matchup of the week in week 12. Depending on how that goes, and then same with week 15. Week 14, I'll probably tune in to watch that Monday night game, just because I really like. Both users do stuff in different ways. I would put the edge towards the Panthers to win that game, but I think it could still be a good matchup. But other than that, I mean, I'm not seeing Titans might put up a fight. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched the Titans that much this year, so it's tough for me to say where they're at. And Vikings like to lose, I think, a lot of winnable games. Like, when I look at our game, I should have won. But even without that, so it would have been 19-13 without the 2 defensive scores. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Beats the guys he's supposed to beat. Maybe loses to the guys he's supposed to lose to. Maybe is that a good way? I mean, I didn't even see this Rams game before, but tried to come back and just couldn't steal it. Yeah, that doesn't look like a bad game at all. A lot of rushing yards, that's for sure. Not a lot of passing yards, which is kind of interesting. Not a lot of turnovers. Nobody was in the red zone really ever. Weezy loves Mexicans. Why are you saying Weezy doesn't love Mexicans? Weezy is a Mexican. Bears on the converse side have a much tougher slope, I think. Colts, Eagles, Falcons. These are teams that are going to, obviously Vikings, Titans give them a run. Vikings twice still. Texans, yeah. If I was in the position, I'd rather be the Vikings than the Bears looking at that schedule. God, I wish we could get a Super Bowl rematch right here. I hope he comes back for week 9. But yeah, I hope Bengals doesn't just get to play 2 CPUs straight, but it is what it is. LTHX, those are good matchups. Tank again. Maybe we'll see another Hail Mary. Eagles isn't a bad that's a nice 4-game stretch. Redskins could also give them some trouble. And Pats, wow, I do not envy. Actually, really don't envy this Bengals schedule. Like whole year is actually really tough. Okay, I did not realize that. Bills, I don't care about. Browns. Oh, I guess I care about the Browns. That'll be the last team I look at, to be honest. CPU. That'll be a fun game. Lots of shit talk about Colts, Browns, like I said before. Oh, grits. I'm just gonna. That's probably the 10th time I've mentioned that him being back. Just upsets me that much. Titans, Bengals, another game. Steelers, that could be interesting. What was it last time? It was a pretty close game, right? Yeah, 6 points. Maybe we'll get to see the trifecta of Hail Marys, or maybe that's next year. He still got one more game against X2, which could be good. It could be good. I'll leave it at that. You never know. Raiders, yeah, I think Cleveland wins that game. B3, though, that's probably going to be the most talked about game of the year once that starts to approach. Once I put up that scheduling thread, I feel like Tank is just going to fucking every day tag his shit. But yeah, I think that's the... Hope I helped realize what was the easiest and most difficult path to the playoffs. Still got some guys waiting to play. I honestly don't think Redskins plays grits. I think that's just pipe dream dead. I don't know what's up with XLTH. Bills and Jets, I think, was supposed to be today. I know it got pushed back, so I don't want to say anything about that, but I'm just very confused. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I got a message about it. But yeah, all we're waiting on then is X and LTH, and then the Skins Cowboys game, and neither of them responded with a message in the scheduling chat. So I mean, yeah, I really don't think early advance. I think it's gonna be a Sunday night advance, which is a mixed bag. But yeah, I'm gonna call that a show. Apparently I'm pretty tired. I'm yawning a lot. I've really had a long week. I've been getting called in left and right. It just drains from me working last minute because I'm a bitch. But yeah, I'll try and do a show in about 10 days. Let me check out the date. I think it's the 6th, right after the Super Bowl. The 6th is the next Tuesday I'd be available to do it. Definitely throwing a Super Bowl party if anybody listening wants to come. Probably going to serve some tacos. I don't know what kind of tacos yet. But that's the game plan for the Super Bowl on my end. But yeah, the 6th will probably be the next show. Probably try and do it at 5 Eastern time again. But yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and turn off this stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed and have a good rest of your night.